This is Geometry Semester 2. It's unit number 10 called Pythagorean Review, and it's lesson number 4 called Slope Triangles and Distance Formula. It's on creatormath.com. You might have to type into Google creatormath.weebly.com to find the site. It's under the Geometry tab. The instructions are copy problems 1 through 4 into your composition book on the correct pages according to the table of contents with the notes for those pages from creatormath.com. Just to model a little bit, go to creatormath.weebly.com. Home site looks like this, or home page looks like this. Go to Geometry tab where all the notes are and all the videos are. Pass by the vocabulary. Find the table of contents for semester 2. You should have already copied all this on pages 2 through 6 of your composition book. Find the right unit. This is a unit on Pythagorean Review. And looks like it's got here's Pythagorean Theorem Review, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lessons. Which one is this? This is lesson number 4. So lesson number 4 right here. By the time you go here, there'll be notes on this link, problems here, and the video solution will be here. Here are the problems where the notes go in your comp book. Don't follow this video's word for it. Please go back and check the actual table of contents. By the time you watch this video, it will be changed, probably. And with that, let's see what they're giving us. They're only giving us 4 problems in this review, so I'm not sure what we're talking about here. Is the slope of the line positive, up to the right, or negative, up to the left? Then draw a slope triangle and find the rise over run. Okay. So it looks like they're giving us a Cartesian coordinate plane. They're giving us the x-axis, the y-axis, and a graphed line. The line goes through the origin at 0, 0, and it also goes through this point at negative 1, 2, 3, comma, negative 2, so negative 2, 3. So we want to know, is it a positive slope or is it a negative slope? And they give us a hint here. Up to the right is positive. This is definitely going up to the right. I mean, just trace it with your pen and say, keep going, right? It's going up to the right. So this is a positive slope. Then they're asking us, what is the slope? M is slope. It is rise over run. Wow, this is taking us way back, right? Let's calculate rise. Go to a point we know, the origin we know. Count 1, 2. I counted 2 up, so I rose 2. And from that point, I ran 1, 2, 3 before I hit another point. I don't like these because they're not crossing any intersection, right? So these don't help me here and here. I need to go to the next intersection with the grid. So that's going to be run 3. So run means out to the right. If for some reason it was going the other direction, one of these would have to be negative. But because it's a positive slope, the 2/3 is positive. So it looks like we're going positive and m equal to 2/3. All right, fair enough. Not too difficult, I don't think. Is the slope of the line positive or negative? So now we see, is it up to the right? No, I'm not going up to the right. Up to the right's over this way, right? This is going up to the left. So this line is already, I can tell, a negative slope. I got a negative slope here. The slope is negative. So now calculate the actual slope. M equals rise over run. Let's find a point. Looks like it passes through the origin. That's cool. And then if we count rise, 1, 2. Now, run is not to the right. So the right is positive. This is running to the left. Just think of a number line. To the left is negative. So negative 1, 2, 3. So a negative 3. Now students get confused when you start putting a negative in the numerator or the denominator. This really freaks out our minds because our minds are like, well, I don't get it. How can the denominator be negative? So maybe think of it this way. If this is a positive up top and you're dividing it by a negative, isn't a positive divided by a negative negative? So the whole thing is negative. It's a negative 2/3. And we better see a negative because we just said that the slope was negative. It's up to the left. All right, so negative and a negative 2/3 up to the left. Fair enough? They're challenging us in this lesson, this review lesson, on positive and negative slopes. And they're challenging us on calculating the slope and proving that it is positive or negative. Is the slope of the line positive up to the right or negative up to the left? Then draw a slope triangle to find the rise over run. And you know what I didn't do, you guys? I did not put in what they really want me to do here on this first one is just, I'm reading the directions again. Here's a leg, and here's a leg. Guess what shape we've got here? Oh, a right triangle, right? That's why it's called slope triangles. And the triangle has this side was 2, and this side was 3, right? We rose, overran 2/3. That's how we got this. This one, here's the triangle, and it's a right triangle. We rose 2, and we ran 3 to the left, right? So, and let's say you did the triangle a different way. So you did the triangle down here. It will not matter where you do the triangle as long as you're lining up with intersection points. Notice, let's say we went down 2, we would have had -2, and we would have ran 3 positive to the right. Notice it's still a -2/3. Oh. So it doesn't matter where you do that triangle. If you think through which part is negative and which part's positive, you should come up with the same answer every time. So I should have covered that. Sorry to go back, but that I neglected to say that. And I see where they're going with this one. Here's the line. Look at this. So what's happening here? This is an actual flat line, right? And if I get to 45, you guys, which I am, you can go ahead and sign off. You do not have to stay around, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this, all right? You can type your goodbyes, and I will see you in 2 days. Is the slope of the line positive or negative? So this is a horizontal line. This one has no slope. It's not up and to the left, and it's not up and to the right. It's a 0 slope. It has no slope or 0 slope. All right, what do they say here? A horizontal line has neither a positive or a negative slope because its slope is 0. Fair enough. And that makes sense to me. It's flat. There's neither an up to the right nor an up to the left. There's neither. It's 0. Okay, I like what they did with that. Given the following graph and the distance formula, which is actually the Pythagorean theorem, distance equals y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared. What is the setup formula for the distance between the 2 points? They just want us to set this up. All right, 2 points. Here we go. Here and here. So this is x comma y, and this is x comma y. And this distance between the 2 points here, d equals the square root of y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1. Yeah, I wish I had put this down here. 2 and 1. I like that better down below, otherwise it looks like a power. I need a subscript rather than a superscript, and let's square this. So d equals square root of y2. Let's call this y2. So this would be 0 minus y1, a minus 2 squared. There's a plus. That if this was y2, this has to be x2. 0 minus minus 3. And this has to be squared according to our Pythagorean theorem formula, distance formula. Well, a 0 minus a minus 2, these become plus. So 0 plus 2 is 2 squared plus. This becomes plus. A 0 plus 3 is 3, and it's squared. So d equals square root of 4 plus 9. D equals square root of 13. And I'm going to leave it at that, but notice what they only ask us to do was do 0 minus a minus 2, just like right here we did, and 0 minus a minus 3 right here with a plus in between and a square root. This means square root in the computer, you guys. They don't have the whole thing that goes over. They just do this thing out front. So it's this one right here. All right, so make sure you're in the right place. This is Geometry Semester 2. It's Unit number 10, Pythagorean Review. 04, Slope Triangles and Distance Formula Practice. It's on creatormath.com under the Geometry tab. I hope this helps.